Well, this is me down in the soil pit, where my favorite spot to be. But I'm a professor of soil science and a recovering associate dean emeritus, and I say that I say that only partly tongue in cheek, because it really kind of defines a little bit, who I am today. I spent 16 years as a professor of soil science here, and then went into administration for 8 years as associate dean of academic programs. After 8 years, I figured I was becoming more a part of the problem than I was of the solution, and that it was a good time to come back to the department, because I sure as heck did not want to continue in administration. And it's been great. I really loved being back with everybody. So I got a fairly high teaching load, Carl. I can't remember, 75, 80%, something in that category. In terms of research, I tell you, being gone for 8 years, you really your research program kind of finishes. And I'm at a point trying to figure out where I want to take that, and so this retreat is kind of well timed for me. But the one thing I really have always liked about academia is it gives you a chance to reinvent yourself every few years, and I'm definitely in the process of that. A lot of the service that I do these days is with nonprofits, a lot that I got hooked up with when I was associate dean. The one I think I'm really enjoying the most and making some changes. Frogtown Farms, which is located over in St. Paul, is a very community-engaged nonprofit, working in urban agriculture. And I tell you, the soils problems of trying to get that farm up and going are pretty amazing. So it's been a great, opportunity also to kind of get back into soil science. So what do I teach a little bit, yeah. So right now I'm doing basic soil science, so I teach that day session as well as a night session that fills this room up, not quite as much as this, but pretty well. Wetland soils was a course I started a number of years ago. I'm continuing. I teach the wetlands course. I do the soil, hydrology, geomorphology pieces of that. Sue Galadowicz handles the biology. This one is my experiment, ESPN 1202, People, Land, and Water, Systems Under Stress. I teach this course with a historian. Okay, now that's a real stretch, and it sort of pulled me out of my envelope a little bit. But if you really want to get down to the basics of teaching, try teaching with somebody in the humanities. It's been a great experience. I think the first year it went really well. It is a historical perspectives course, so encourage your students to take a look at it. I do a Grand Challenge course, Rivers and Cities, over in Minneapolis, and then Nick and I teach Field Studies course, during May. I've got a couple of students that I say at this point I more help out with. Zach, some of you might know, kind of a special student. Chris Lenhart and I are working with him, and then Al is working primarily with Nick, and I'm helping out since it's kind of his first PhD student. I also supervise 4 amazing undergraduate teaching assistants, and I'm working on trying to get these guys into grad school because they're really good at what they do. So what are my interests? Innovation, excellence in teaching. It's been a theme, I guess, that I've tried to maintain for the last 10 or 15 years. Pedology and soil genesis, my area of academic interest. I came to Minnesota doing a lot of work of geospatial analysis. Kind of started a GIS lab here, which is winding down, I think, a little bit at this point. The intersection of science and the humanities. 1 minute, really? Hey. Jeez. All right. Well, I'm the last guy, though. So, and also the future of higher education. My passions are students in a very appropriate way, Peter. So that's what really, I get up in the morning to come here for that. Soils still just absolutely amaze me. The longer I work with them, the more, I come to appreciate. Service to communities, fishing, hiking, and my family, and not necessarily in that order. Goals, I want to inspire students, high-quality educational experiences. Research collaboration is something I'm trying to see, what are the possibilities out there for me at this point. I'm working on a project with Dave that I can't go into. And mining my existing research data. And let me talk about that in the remaining 5 seconds I have. Pedology is what I do. Okay, stop. What do you mean stop?
There was a reason why we put you last.
Yeah. Okay, well, real quick. The first part of my career, I worked with something called the Wet Soil Monitoring Project. We had a number of sites spread throughout Minnesota using the same protocols. We have 7 other states. I am the only person in the original project who was not retired. We sampled hill slopes, did very detailed descriptions and analysis of soils on hill slopes, collected lots of different monitoring data, and we have lots of things like piezometric surfaces, matrix potentials, redox potentials, and soil temperatures. On these sites, 5 to 10 years worth of data. We published a lot on the individual sites, but we have yet to do the sort of longitudinal studies. So I got lots of data, and I'd really like to go back, take a look at that, try to get some of these young, bright, undergraduates that I'm working with to do some work here, and maybe go back and look at the entire national data set. I'm the only one left that knows what it means. So, okay, thank you, Paul.